Welcome back, everybody, to Rantpocalypse Talks The Walking Dead. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm
You didn't get past that one, did ya? Did ya, Mom?
I'm Kelly.
And together, we are the world's greatest
Yes.
mother and son Walking Dead reviewing YouTubing duo on the internets.
Okay, good job. Good job.
Appreciate that, Mom. I'm trying to help my mom's out. She's lost it quite a bit today. The
It
brain
is
is not there for her.
it's been a really long day. I mean, between radio and multiple television shoots today,
Oh, what do you mean
I
so
am
fancy?
spent.
Well, you know
Uh,
what I did all day, Mom?
Punching numbers.
Beep boop beep bop beep bop beep
I'm
boop beep
sorry.
bop beep bop beep boop boop
O-
bing beep boop bing. Yeah, that's what I did all day
Okay,
is
mine was a
punching
lot more
numbers.
fun than yours. It
Yours is
was.
most
Sorry.
certainly a lot more fun than mine. I will say that I
Yeah.
had a bomb ass grilled cheese with bacon at lunch today, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what I had for lunch because I was so busy doing radio and
All right,
television?
let me guess. Let me guess.
Okay.
A Monster Energy drink for
That
lunch.
was that was breakfast. You saw
Oh,
that on Facebook.
that was breakfast?
Uh-huh.
So lunch was two Monster Energy drinks, right?
It was crackers.
Oh man, Monster Energy drinks and crackers.
Crackers.
Hey, if we got a donation button somewhere down in here, I don't know
Exactly.
if it exists, but
We
help my
need it.
mom out. My mom,
Mhm.
my mom needs to eat more than crackers for lunch every day. I
It
want to
would be
keep her
nice.
around everybody. We not just because we have a YouTube channel together. I happen to like her as well.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but yeah, so I don't know where that button is, but if the button that
It-
just says give money,
yes,
you can go ahead and give that to my mom. So,
that would be
hope you
awesome.
guys like our shirts, by the way.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
I don't know if you
Yes.
can see them in frame right now. And just in case you're listening to this in audio form, we have our shirts that say "Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo," and it has the Negan from the comic book.
Yeah.
It's where it's kind of all what do you call that? What do you call this right here, Mom? What do you call? I don't know.
Oh, these are
Oh,
my
hey, no,
boobies.
God, no, no.
Oh,
Sorry, sorry
it's
for
kind of
that.
it's kind of raised a little bit. Is that what it feels like to you? Are you dying? Did you just throw up?
I just threw up.
You want me to just make you feel really, really bad? Oh, that's so adorable.
It is. It
That's
is so cute.
adorable. That's the
Look at
cutest
this.
barf busket bucket.
Busket.
God, what a
I'm
day.
gonna go ahead and title this "Worst Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 11 Review of All Time in the
Yes.
History of the Intronets of the
Yeah.
Walking Dead
Okay. All right, we
Reviews."
win that one. We win it.
We gotta win at something. Do you want to get into this review, Mom? You want to talk about this episode, which
I
was
think we should.
Hostilities and Calamities? What did you think about this episode? Did you like it?
I didn't like it. I loved it.
Oh, really?
I did love it. I thought it was so much fun. We got so much Eugene. It was great. We got some Negan,
Yes.
which was nice to see a little Negan, see him be really evil and bad, and for Eugene to see it because at the time that he saw the super badness of Negan,
Yeah.
I thought at that point that he had gone to the dark side because he's like, man, I got pickles and video games and babes. I'm good.
Gotta point out the ginger. Holy shit sticks!
I
That
wrote
chick
that.
was hot.
I wrote that in one of my notes. Holy shit sticks from
Yep.
Justin
Yeah, there you
because
go. Justin. I need that on the
I knew
shirt.
you were loving.
Holy shit sticks. Dash Justin. Yeah, she was freaking
She's
ridiculously
beautiful.
hot, and
Mhm.
I wouldn't have blamed Eugene one little bit had he handed those whatever it was that he was making. I forget, just the pills. We'll just call them
Yeah.
the pills. If he would have handed those over to get rid of Negan, I'd have high-fived his ass because he might have had a chance with Red. I don't know if he would have ultimately because I could see the entire system and structure of the Saviors immediately crumbling without Negan around. I mean, it would just be a free for all of total douchebag dickheads just taking everything, killing people. It would definitely not last very long, but it might last long enough for
Yeah.
Eugene to,
He.
have a
No,
little
no,
bit
no,
of
no.
something something with the ginger.
He didn't want something with the ginger. He could have had that. He, no, no, no. Look,
Mm. I don't know about
Dude
that.
is a virgin. I mean, that was totally evident.
Oh, really?
Negan sent those girls over there strictly for that purpose, to make
No,
the
no, no, no.
man happy.
No, 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 no. You remember one key point because
What?
Negan said, "No sex in the champagne room, otherwise you're dead." You don't remember that?
Did he
Oh,
say that
well,
tonight?
I mean, he didn't put it in those exact words. I don't know if Negan calls it the champagne room whenever he,
Was
has
he
the sexy time. But definitely, yeah, he laid down the law. To paraphrase what Negan said, he said there's nothing like not the touch of a woman, but kind of like having a
the
woman
scent of a
around.
woman?
Yeah.
Hoo-ha!
Yeah. Hoo-ah. Yeah, that's an old reference, people. You might not get that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but no, he definitely told Eugene, no sex is happening. That's a big, big no. So that was off the table, but it might not have been off the table had he slipped Negan those pills and taken Negan out. But
Okay.
I don't think it would have happened long term. I think
She
that
said she would give him a massage. I used to be a massage therapist.
yeah, but this isn't those happy ending back page
Oh,
massages, Mom.
okay.
This is
Okay.
this is like
A
legitimate,
regular,
in the middle of the mall massage.
yeah,
Yeah. And that's
where everybody can see you,
yeah,
where your
yeah.
mom can sit and
Yeah,
watch.
exactly. Eugene's mom's over there. Eugene, what the hell is that? What was going on in your pants?
Oh yeah.
Eugene's, oh my God, I'm embarrassed.
I
That
love
was that
how
was it.
he reverted back to his same line when he was afraid that he wasn't going to be important enough for Negan to keep him. So he reverts back to that same story, that same lie about
The
that
Human
he's a
Genome Project and
yes.
everything.
And when that chick called him out on that, oh man, I think he wet his pants.
I loved his response though, and then they all just kind of in unison. Did he just cut us down? Did he, I'm like, but it was
Did we
so
say
funny
we're stupid?
though. Hey, yeah,
Hmm.
well, I don't think they were that stupid. To enact that plan, I thought was pretty smart on their part because it's not like they're gonna go out and say they could do this. They could go out and find the biggest badass savior that's out there and say, "Hey, you want some of this? You can have some of this if you
Right,
go out over there and kill Negan right now."
right.
They knew that that wouldn't work. That they got to be kind of sneaky and conniving and get him when he's vulnerable, when he's taking a little swig of his beer or taking a little swig of something else, whatever it is that he's drinking. Because I honestly haven't seen Negan drink anything, which is kind
Mm.
of weird. So yeah, I thought it was a smart plan. I also thought it was very smart of Eugene to sniff it out.
Hmm.
He didn't sniff it out at first, but then whenever he does see the doc being killed, the lights went off and went on, and realized, I don't think I should do this because if anything goes wrong with this, I'm gonna be like the old doc, getting put in the fire, getting an iron to my face.
I think he understood as soon as they asked. That was why. I mean, he knew they asked for two pills. Not, oh, we're not sure if we're going to be able to get it to her the first time. Well, duh. If she's asking for it, she'll know
That's
the first
true.
time.
That
So
was
he immediately he knew.
Oh, you think so? I don't know. I
Hmm.
felt like he didn't know at first and was totally going along with it. That yeah, the two pills maybe the first pill didn't work and they wanted to be doubly sure and they slipped. They give her the two pills,
When he says,
but
"How much does she weigh?"
yeah. Well, they were easily like, all right, 120 times
Yeah,
120 or
yeah,
times two,
hmm
240. That's
yeah.
about what they thought.
There's
Maybe
Negan.
Negan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that'll be definitely good enough for him. I like this episode a lot too. I know that there is some talk amongst the Walking Dead fan base and then some critics as well about the fact that this episode might have been a bit repetitive because it is the third time that we've visited the sanctuary and we kind of hit some similar beats every time we go back to the sanctuary with a new person. Daryl there first, then we
Yeah.
brought Carl in, and then we have Eugene. But for me, it's like if you mix and match and mesh Daryl's visit with Carl's visit,
Yes.
you get Eugene's visit. So it's
Yeah.
still unique in that
Right.
way. They do hit on some of the same beats for sure.
Yeah, but it was like a pieces threads to a rug that suddenly got woven together, and you could see the whole picture.
Yeah.
Because I loved the whole idea of Easy Street seeing from Eugene's perspective,
Oh yeah, he was like,
he was
this
he was
this
digging it.
this is my
I
jam
mean,
right here. Easy
I
street.
we were like tortured with it before, and he loved it.
Yeah.
So everything in life is, is perspective. But that they put him immediately into the good room,
Yep.
that was pretty cool. I didn't find it repetitive. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I really didn't either. I think the dock thing was probably the only thing that I thought was repetitive in the sense of we have another person that's pulled out there that's going to get the iron and everything. And
Hmm.
at first I didn't really like that because I was kind of on the critic side of me saying, ah, man, do we really have to go through this shit again? But I understand ultimately why they did that and why it it was shown to Eugene. I will say that one minor squabble I have with
Hmm.
that is I don't know what they're doing with Dwight. I love Dwight in this episode. I thought
Hmm.
the Dwight in Sherry's letter that was being read by Sherry herself,
Yeah.
I thought
Hmm.
that was amazing. I loved every bit of that. I love Dwight as a character. I love when we get these introspective episodes of Dwight because I honestly think that at this point right now, Dwight and Sherry are the most interesting couple on the show. I know that
Yeah.
that may be blasphemy for some to say, oh no, it's Michonne and Rick and everything, but it's really not. Like, we've seen their drama play out. Now it's all external drama. It's not internal drama, right?
I don't think we still have seen enough of Michonne and Rick. As Michonne fans, oh, we
Hmm.
love them together.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like we know enough about what their inner goings on. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just don't feel enough emotion still from the two of them. I'm with you, Sherry and Dwight. That's interesting.
Yeah.
She still loves him. She
Yeah.
would have gone away with him if she thought he wasn't going to take her back
I know.
to Negan.
I loved whenever he got there and he had the beer and the pretzels and everything. I
Hmm.
thought that was amazing. I would have, it would have been nice to see them just ride
I
off into
know.
the sunset.
That'd
And
have been great.
I loved her reasoning for why she let Daryl out. It wasn't to save Daryl, it was to save Dwight because
Hmm.
she knew that he was just rescinding deeper and darker into himself and not being his true self. And the fact that she says Daryl reminded you of your old self and that's why I let him out. I was like, hot damn, that was
Hmm.
some good shit right there. Like that's when The Walking Dead, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the best.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you said that you don't know exactly where they're going with Dwight at this
Oh,
point.
yes. That was my minor issue is I get that he would want to kill the doc. I don't know if he would have wanted it to be that menacing, do you think? I don't know, because they keep teetering this fine line with Dwight, which I totally get. I
Hmm.
understand what they're doing, and we ultimately as fans think it's going to pay off with Dwight coming to the other side at some point. But whenever that happened, I'm like, this to me seems like it cements him as that old Dwight is completely gone. It is just shattered. I understand that he would want the doc to be taken out. I think he just thought he was going to get taken out with the iron and probably not say anything anymore. But I don't know if he. It's hard. I
It
mean, he didn't look very remorseful whenever the doc got thrown in that fire, right?
it was sad. The doc seemed like a pretty cool dude. Really, I mean,
Oh man, he was an asshole though. You didn't
really,
you didn't get that
I
vibe?
no, I didn't get that vibe at all. Again, I'm watching on my iPhone at work, and
Oh yeah, that's true.
anytime the boss comes by, I'm like,
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
oh yeah,
No, no.
doing the Justin typing thing. So I no, I didn't realize that there was a kind of a creepy vibe, but I did watch enough of The Talking Dead to see that supposedly that Dwight thought that it was just going to be an iron to the face, because he said,
Okay.
I got the iron to the face and I was able to handle it. This guy can handle it too.
I think that as well. I don't think that he knew that Negan was gonna just go all ballistic and
Whoosh.
throw his ass in the fire. Yeah, I think he thought it was just gonna be the iron, and that would kind of shut him up for a little bit because
Hmm.
yeah, there was some scenes in the beginning of the episode between Dwight and the doc whenever the doc was patching him up, and
Hmm.
they just didn't sit well with me. The way that he was talking about Sherry, it would piss me off if that was my wife because he more or less just called her weak and that she wasn't fit to still be alive in this zombie apocalypse.
Oh, see, I took it as he says, she's got a really big heart. She married Negan to save you. That,
I
a
don't know.
woman with a big heart won't last long
Yeah.
in,
I I guess I could see it as being taken as a sweet thing to say, but for think about it in Dwight's put yourself in
Oh yeah.
Dwight's shoes where
Well, and you're taking it from the dude's perspective,
well
so and that's where it was.
nothing about that. Like this has nothing to do with the dude's perspective. It's more so he's kind of reaffirming what Sherry is saying to him in the letter, that doc.
Hmm.
And so we've seen this internal struggle with Dwight of where he will do certain things, but it also seems like inside he's being ripped apart because he hates that he's doing them.
Oh,
But
heck
then
yeah.
a part of him also is like, I think kind of how Eugene is in this episode. This is kind of nice. I'm being treated like royalty. Not that Dwight is always being treated that way. And
Right,
so whenever
right.
the doc is telling him these things in that opening part of the episode, he's saying, "You are that bad guy now. You're that villain.
You
You're
are
no you're
Negan.
yeah you're Negan. You're lost completely." And so I
Hmm.
think that kind of gets at him because a part of him knows that that's what he's becoming, but also a part of him doesn't want that to be what he becomes. If that makes any sense at
Sure it
all.
does.
Yeah,
Sure it does. It's the war that we have, you know. It's so funny because like with the whole political climate that's going on right now, and George W. Bush came out today and was talking about the fact that we need the press
yeah, the
to
media.
right to be calling out politicians because being in a place of power is just it's addictive and you
Yeah.
want it. The more you have, the more you want. And if someone's not calling you out on it, you get hungry for more and it turn into this evil thing. And I just thought that was really interesting for him to say that. You turn into Negan.
Yeah, you turn
Exactly.
into Negan.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he definitely is not really put in check, and
right.
that's why one of the things I found the most interesting were his wives that were there to put him in check because it doesn't seem like any of the men are willing to do that, but you have these women that are his wives that supposedly agreed to this, and they're there trying to off him on the sidelines and everything, which
Yeah.
I thought was very interesting. There was a lot of things to like about this episode.
Hmm.
The Dwight and Eugene, I love the ending scene with those two. Eugene says, I just love how he compares everything to video games because he says, I don't know if you remember my handle. And, so I'm Eugene, you're Dwight. And then he says, we are Negan. And I absolutely love that because I know there's going to be a lot of chatter of whether or not Eugene has gone to the dark side, whether or not he's betrayed Rick Grimes in
Right.
the group. I talked about it in a video. It was devoted to all of that. I think I did that about 3 weeks ago,
Right.
and I really like this episode because it kind of like affirms some of the things I talked about in that video. As I'm watching, I'm starting to think, is Eugene completely turning because he seemed to be enjoying it. That part where he goes and takes the
Hmm.
medicine and he takes all the stuff, takes the whatever it was that he grabbed from
He
that
grabbed the
lady.
bedpan. I'm gonna take this, and then that little doll. I can't remember what he called
What he
it.
called it?
I
The grumbly gunk or something like
Yeah,
that?
I'm gonna call it a grumbly gunk and sticks
Oh
it
my
under his
God.
arm.
That
I
was probably one of my favorite lines that Eugene has
Yes, it
ever
was good.
said.
That was what I loved so much about this episode. I can't wait until I get to watch it with the closed captioning so I can see every bit of it line for line,
Yeah.
write it down, because it was just so much good, just Eugenisms.
Yeah.
That was what I liked about it.
Yeah, no, it was the interactions were great amongst the characters. I think that's where
Hmm.
this episode really stood apart from maybe some of the previous episodes is that's when it's at its best. When you have these, just character to character interactions, the
I,
drama amongst them.
I changed my mind.
What did you change your mind to?
I didn't like it.
Why is that?
You know
Because there was
why?
no Rick Grimes in it.
Hmm.
Well, he'll be back in next week's episode. Looks like Michonne and him are going to go on
Yes.
some crazy adventure. Really quickly, and I know we'll get into this more in our full-on discussion that'll be out later this week. But your quick answer, yes or no, is Eugene going to the dark side? And we'll get more into this later this
Okay.
week with this topic.
No. The answer is no. He's not gone to the dark side.
Okay.
because he saw the Dr. Byrne.
That's an eye opener for
Right.
sure.
It's nice to have somebody tell you how you are so fucking smart. That's what I love about you. And he's pointing at his brain, and I mean, he was getting the big head, uh, and I could see that that would sway you. But man, as soon as he saw that Dr. Byrne, and he went like that, so yeah,
Yeah, I loved how Negan was calling him Dr. Smarty Pants
yes,
in a kind of mean, antagonistic way, but then it kind of turned into it's more of an endearing term for him
mhm.
now because I did love whenever Eugene came up with that idea and he was like, "God damn, that was good." He's like, "That was the coolest shit I've ever heard." I thought it was a badass idea as well. I will say, whenever you watch the closed captioning, and this is also for anybody watching this review or listening to this on the podcast, there was a part in the episode right before Eugene goes outside to tell Negan all about that plan to make it where the walkers don't deteriorate and everything,
Uh-huh.
where it's off screen, and you definitely have to have the volume up to hear it, or at least for my old deaf ass. But Negan is saying, "Let's send Simon over there. Let's try to play the good guy and see how that works." So I have a feeling that I
Seriously.
think Simon is going to be going to the kingdom here pretty soon. That's not going to be good. That's not going to end well because Simon can be a loose cannon. And
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like not only is he going to go over there, but I think that he is going to go over there into the kingdom, I think, here pretty soon. So I thought that was very interesting. It was just kind of like this very, very side topic, side thing that wasn't on screen. Negan wasn't saying it to
Right.
somebody that you
Right.
saw. It was as Eugene was kind of coming outside. I thought it was an interesting thing for Negan to be saying kind of off screen because I think it's going to be very important in the next couple of episodes. And I want to give kudos to Laura. She's the one that was giving Eugene the tour. She was badass in this episode. I
Oh
liked
yeah.
her a whole lot. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this week's episode a 4.25 bacons out of 5. What about yourself?
I think I agree completely. 4.25 bacons. I loved it. Another, okay, I keep hearing all these things about how season 7 is the worst season ever for The Walking Dead. I will say
No.
the first half might have been a little bit slower for me, but
Yeah.
the second half I am loving, loving. So good
Yeah.
job, good job. So far, so good.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, definitely let us know your thoughts about this episode in the comment box down below. You can also email us. It's rantpocalypse@gmail.com. Thanks so much for joining us as we talked about episode 11, Hostilities and Calamities. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Bye.